I don't think it was just the Austin. I mean, that certainly hurt us for the rest of the game, not having him out there. But, overall, I think we played, I don't even know, 39 to 44 minutes of pretty poor offense. And some of that's to be expected. Some of it was sloppiness. Some of it was poor spacing. Some of it was poor execution. I'm not going to. The reason I'm not going to read too much into that is because I think our guys competed tonight and they played extremely hard. I also think Charlotte played very sloppy. I'm not. That's not to make an excuse. That's just the reality of just having 6 days off as a group and trying to integrate new pieces, and that happens sometimes. I've been part of those first games after All-Star break when they're humming and things are good, and I've been part of them when they've been sloppy like they were tonight. I thought, our effort and competitive spirit was good enough to win. Just we were really poor offensively for 90% of the game.
Yeah. JJ, when you guys made this trade, obviously you disrupt. And not necessarily even in a negative way, but you change kind of who you guys are. Defensively, where do you think this team is at in figuring that out, particularly down the stretch when it seemed like Charlotte was just kind of hunting and getting into the paint and getting what they wanted? How do you kind of coach that without having AD behind there, Max in this situation?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job when we went to our fires. The big one, the Nick Smith 3, sometimes when a guy holds onto the ball for a long time that you're doubling, he can kind of survey and put you in a long rotation. We're just a little bit late on that rotation. Can probably get off that earlier. But, whether it's firing shifts, I mean, there's certain guys, we were comfortable shifting off of. There's certain guys we were comfortable doubling off of when they were putting Luke in everything. So I thought overall we did a decent job of that. But certainly we'll look at the tape and figure out where we can be better.
Did you guys have the ball down 3 with whatever 6 seconds to go or something like that? Luke is the guy inbounding it. LeBron gets the look. There's a lot of intrigue as to how those late game situations are going to be managed. Was tonight something to LeBron's offensive rhythm in the fourth had to do with that decision to have?
Yeah, there's some interchangeable parts in some of the late game stuff, and you as a coach, you're excited that you have 2 guys that can be the passer and be the guy who gets the pass. But felt like LeBron, particularly in the fourth, just found a nice rhythm and felt really comfortable with that. And we got 2 good looks.
JJ, you guys attempted a season-high 51 threes tonight, and you had previously attempted a season-high 50 against Utah in the last game. I think that the lowest has been 42 since Luka's been here. What have you liked about the shot quality? And I know you referenced tonight not loving the offense, but is that you've wanted to take more threes progressively throughout the season? So what was the balance with that?
Yeah, I think sometimes when the group is trying to get acclimated with each other, you can try to play the right way too much and turn down shots, and then you can try to get yourself in a rhythm and not make the extra pass. I think the flow of everything is gonna happen. I'm excited because this is a new problem to solve. Great. We'll work our butts off to try to solve the problem, but I'm excited about us being able to generate that stuff, getting 2 on the ball. We'll just continue to reemphasize the type of shots we want, and I felt from the Detroit game on December 23rd, I've really liked the threes we've generated.
Was there an explanation as to why Austin picked up that second technical?
Didn't get a good explanation on that one, to be honest with you. We heard what he said on the second one. It was I don't think any of us thought it was worthy of getting an ejection, but I'm sure they'll give you guys a good answer.
In the fourth quarter, but the Hornets only shot 36%. Only the third time in Laker history they've lost to a team shooting this poorly. It's a bad loss. It's a tough loss. The Hornets had lost 9 of 10 coming in, and it just seems like they took their foot off the gas, Rob, at the end of that third quarter. And despite LeBron's heroics, couldn't get it done.
They left the car at the airport. They didn't do anything. And you look at this team, you know, you got a team like the Charlotte Hornets, and you have a team that's a penetrating team like the Lakers can be. I know we had no AR, and that was crucial, but the Lakers only shot 12 free throws against a poorly defensive team in the Charlotte Hornets. And for me, that was the key. You know, the Charlotte Hornets had 8 more free throws made than the Lakers. And you look at the Lakers shot 51 threes. Are you kidding me? You don't have to shoot 51 threes versus the Charlotte. You get to the cup. You play the percentages. And to me, they didn't take this team serious. And shooting 51 threes shows that they didn't take this team serious. And they just said, you know what, we're going to come out. We're going to win. It's All-Star break. Teams usually perform badly after the All-Star break. But this is a young team. Young teams normally come out with energy.
Lakers, huge favorites, 13.5 points. So, you know, most people said, yeah, they're going to win this game, go into Portland tomorrow, see what happens there. It was a strange game in a couple ways for me. Austin Reeves getting kicked out of the game in the third quarter. Huge turning point. Maybe it's a little bit of a learning lesson for Austin. And I understand his frustration. He gets fouled a lot. And Robbie does not get the LeBron treatment. And you know, he's not a superstar, so he shouldn't. But, you know, he got the first one right there, and maybe just stop. And then he gets the second one after he turns back towards the ref. After that, and a couple other bad words, and that was it for Austin. And I felt the Laker offense struggled in the third quarter, only 18 points, Rob, and just a little out of sync in that fourth quarter. I know they got 31 in the fourth, which is good, but just couldn't really pull away from Charlotte. Sloppy first half, we talked about it on the halftime show. Lakers up 11 at the time, but they had a ton of turnovers. They could have been up 20 at the half and maybe really put this team away early.
Yeah, Rob, you look at that 4-minute mark in that third quarter. Lakers are up 13. They miss a 3, they foul for an and 1, it gets down to 8, and that's when Austin gets kicked out. And they never scored again until the 9-minute or so mark of the fourth quarter. And like you said, you and I were watching at that point, just at the shot selection. Like you said, they were just kind of cruising. If it wasn't for LeBron, like, getting them back in it with some crazy shots, I don't know, you know, and then the team started to play with a little bit more life, but it was just tough offensively.
It was crucial because Rui hit that 3 from the corner, and that kind of broke the ice. But after that, you know, the Hornets were hot. You know, Bridges hit some threes. You know, Melo hit back-to-back threes. And when you're a young, scrappy team like this, that's what they live off. They thrive off this. They thrive off the threes. You know, they came out, they started knocking those down. You even had, you know, Josh Green, he was over 3, but he played a lot of great defense. Mark Williams, you know, he was inspired tonight to block shots because of the trade that didn't go through. It was so many guys on this team that had inspiration to play in this game. And as you look at this Lakers squad, you know, and you look at what Rui came, not Rui, but when Luka came out, he didn't have a very good shooting out. And I think he's still trying to